advance to episode 4 of Behind the Acting. This time it's the props of Harcourt and Haigh. Get down to it. Either you are. First one is a record bowl. Now these were kind of butchered by my sister for Anthony's daughter's 18th birthday party. So obviously I managed to inherit quite a few of these bowls. Thanks sis. Sorry Anthony. I really am. Right, next thing we've got up here is the Ubiquity, because me and Chris are both obviously geeks, the Ubiquity Star Trek reference. This was bought at a convention a few years back. Never managed to use it properly on my TV. Didn't get it to work. Anyway, I thought this would be interesting to use on TV. But I know they're very rare, so no, it is not for sale. This, in case BBC is watching, is a Thunder Bros prop. And in case ITV is watching, it's a sonic screwdriver.
Legal deniability, that's what it's all about.
This, obviously, you know, is a Beretta gun. This was used in a couple of the trailers as well as a couple of the episodes. This was bought by one of my good friends, Firth, and donated after he moved away and came back. I think he forgot I actually had it. And that was used. Now what people think I can use for the balls? It is! Dragon Balls! All over the place. So at least try to say them out because they are there.
However, don't expect your wishes to be granted even if you find them all.
Dragon not included.
Yeah, we are a low to no budget feature. We couldn't afford the dragon.
That's true. This Dominus Dawn Dead poster was originally written into one of the very first stuff we actually ever wrote. Due to budget funds and the fact that I couldn't actually find one full size, it was placed by a big China poster seen here. Well, this does appear, thanks of the Blu-ray I got hold of, on the poster wall. So look out for it. Each of them, the little Easter egg, goes up by one every time.
Sometimes they even have a reference to the episode, but only sometimes.
Yeah.
Don't hold us to that.
Just sometimes. And also here we have a series of books that was scattered around the set. Obviously again, because I'm a pretty big film buff and geek. Quentin Tarantino book. I think it's kind of like a behind thing, I'm not quite sure. Like I got years ago. It's a Spinal Tap book. Not seen the film, I recommend you watch it. Very good.
11 out of 10 stars.
Definitely, or 10 up to 11. This thing actually is the script for the actual film as well. Now these two, along with another book, these are very odd. These were actually donated by Chris. I have no idea why he's got these books, especially how to be fit. A bizarre set.
What? With his physique?
True, his manly physique and all. These obviously again just scattered throughout the series set, just to give, I think, more cultural reference, just to fill out and give us more of a history of the characters.
Kind of made Haigh a little bit more oddball than Harcourt's kind of mainstream film geek. Just a little different character differentiation through the books.
As we are both kind of that. I'm a film geek and Chris likes his own books. These obviously are game references, as we're both pretty big gamers. Thanks to the PS3, Controller, a few games. And if you're a bit eagle-eyed, you'll notice that one of them has appeared quite throughout the series. That could be a reference to episode coming later on. If you've not seen the end of Money, you'll see the trailer there.
And if you have paid attention to that trailer, you've probably got a pretty good idea which game is going to influence episode 6.
And if not, I do recommend you watch it again. Over to you, Chris.
I'll read the book. Anyway, so here we have the Pipe of Illumination. This appears briefly in episode 5, Money, and it is illuminating. It was a nice little playful bit of, shall we say, the classic bit of maybe Hitchcockian phallicness to hang the lantern on a rather salty joke.
Yes, it's also very gentle.
Plus, you can always indicate things with a pipe. Brilliant. Now here we have the preferred drinking accoutrements of both Harcourt and Haigh. Although we only kind of have half of Harcourt's pot here. This is his collapsible glass, which definitely in the pilot at least, we replaced with a proper pint glass to make it a little more of a magical transformation. We always try to get a little hint to the fact that maybe Harcourt has some kind of prestidigitatory talents.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of a magician, but not particularly that great. I think I can do a bit of tricks. This was kindly bought one Christmas by surprise present by one of my friends, Shalene Connor. Thank you very much. The minute I saw this, I knew it had to be part of Harcourt and it had to be Harcourt's, just because it collapses.
And cheers. And this is of course Haig's glass, which you want to be a bit more Ponce cocktail struck wine glass, but also have that kind of 1970s retro feel, just to so that the characters are maybe always a little out of sync with modern times.
Yes. And we're all about the retro.
All about the retro. 20th century boys. Now here, alas, we have poor Yorick. A bit of a co-star of episode 5, wasn't it?
Yep.
And you know, what actor wouldn't have a skull? You know, we all want to play the Dane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was kindly donated.
I was talking about Scooby-Doo, not Hamlet.
Oh, okay. So it was kindly donated by my flatmate, Joe Hinsworth. And once again, we needed a prop. It was there for us to use. Thank you very much, Joe.
Now, if he only had a brain. Now, here, it's not just any prop. I mean, I guess you could say it's a co-star. Meet Dave. Or rather, the Haigh 2001 through which Dave appears. We don't want to get too specific about exactly who or what Dave may be.
Yeah.
But we thought we'd bring in a bit of a 2000 AD reference. 2000 AD?
2001. 2001 reference.
Yeah.
We almost got there.
I almost got that right. But anyway, initially Dave was a person. We were going to have a friend or colleague act as our landlord. But because of the shifting schedule of a low budget feature, it was hard getting somebody. So eventually we got a workaround. We created Dave.
Yeah. Which was part of the original discussion we had, and it also allows us to do the 2001 reference. I'm afraid I can't do that, Dave. Anything for a film reference.
Anything. Now here we have another Beretta. Again, this is a bit more self-made. It's a blue, non-BB, cheapo gun from a pound shop with an old laser key ring and I think a bottle of moisturiser of some kind with a lid on the end to create the silencer. This was actually originally created for a Halloween Havoc. That was a costume event our friend Simon at Legacy Comics used to run, and it was part of my Solid Snake costume, of which you can probably see here. Definitely more kind of flabby around the middle rather than Solid Snake, unfortunately. But hey, you know, a tiger lies within this.
Yes.
This otherwise mortal form. There we go. And speaking of guns still, another hardware, you may notice quite a few guns in the props here. Well, that was part of trying to hang a lantern on the whole criminal nature of Harcourt and Haigh.
Yeah, we were very good at it as well.
So, what we've got here is, well, it's not just an AK-47, it's our Chekhov gun. And yes, it does get fired in the third act.
And remember, to positively kill every person in the room, AK-47 all the way.
But do remember to check the sights first.
And the safety.
And also, don't hit yourself in the face with it.
No, it hurts. A lot.
Now here we have another prop designed by ourselves, turning a normal door into a temporal anomaly. It's the temporal anomaly door sign. I just wanted to create something that would allow us to open up the world of Harcourt and Haigh to different locations that you would think, well, how did they get there?
Allow us to travel quite instantly. Again, it's a science fiction reference as well. Same sound effect that was used, that's a Blake 7 reference again, people who pay attention to the sound effects as well. Also allows us to be places where we actually shouldn't be, i.e. time period as well.
Yeah, we'd like to keep the showbiz age of our characters a bit elastic, as obviously we'd like to extend their history further back than we've actually existed ourselves.
Yes.
To get those proper retro references. And speaking of another design job for the series, we have Buddy Christ here on the Jesus is Your Buddy leaflet, which we brought in money as a reference to the Views universe, and just because it was kind of we needed a reference to Jesus and thought we'd get again the obligatory film reference in at the same time.
We did also need a leaflet, didn't we, for like a Jehovah's Witness leaflet. None of us could have it at the time. Damn them, where were they when we needed them?
Yeah, I went to the Jehovah's Witnesses and they were out.
crazy people.
Crazy.
So, obviously we had to make one, which, again, works out better for us.
And of course, last but not least, I never get this right, Vern. Is it the Haigh 3000 or the 9000?
Haigh 3000.
And I came up with a name, folks.
Continuity!
It's the Haigh 3000. This is a small vintage suitcase we got from our friend Megan's Purple Vintage Rabbit store at the Peace Hall. And it's basically numerous amounts of junk, copiously bottled together with bits of Velcro and an obsolete 90s game to create what is essentially a smartphone. Because Harcourt and Haigh are too cheap to spend their booze money on an actual smartphone that would cost them money.
And we are too happy we have no money.
That's true.
This also appears episode 1, Googleplex, which is where Haigh is actually building the said Haigh vac. It also appears an experiment as I am playing Pac-Man on it, and I get quite irate. And it also doubles up as the amp using money when we're playing the song Money.
That was an idea that was given to us by another friend, Kate, who, when I mentioned the fact that it was in a suitcase and it would be a smartphone, that why didn't I make it other gadgets as well? And so, that's what we went with.
Yeah, so again it has dual uses and probably more likely appear again throughout any of the series or specials that we do in the future.
So, there are a few things we haven't mentioned plot-wise, that if you
Yes.
keep your eyes out you might get another film reference or two. But that's about it for the props of Harcourt and Haigh. Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, if you'd like to see where these props appear in episodes, please feel free to watch it across here. Hopefully episode 1 to 4 will be 5 over here, Bob Chris's face. Hopefully not Manny's chest. And thanks for watching, guys, and hope to see you for the last episode of series 1 and hopefully for series 2 in the future.
Stay tuned, acting fans.